Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek. I don't know if we're going to be doing this every other episode or every episode, but I'm thinking it might be every episode because I am excited for the show. We're talking the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anybody online that's given this a negative review because it's just so much flashback and it's boring. You're stupid. Anyway, I'm harsh on this one. I like this, especially after coming off of the tragedy we called Hawkeye and then into this. And I'm like, oh, so much better. I'm Dub. I'm here with Tyler. I'm here with Christina. We're here with Griffin, and we're here with Skeeter. How y'all doing today? What's your thoughts on Book of Boba Fett? We're doing episodes 1 and 2 today, so it's all fair game. Breathe. First thoughts, Tyler.
First thoughts, man, I like it. I like it a lot. I don't think it's gonna have the flashy cool factor for the kids as much as it is for more story for adults. You know what I mean? It does seem more.
There's no toy involved that's walking around.
Yeah. You know, and you don't have the flashy, costume and stuff like that. It's actually a lot less helmet time than I thought we were gonna see.
Thank God. Yes.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, we'll get into
the helmet. I love it. I love that.
I love the helmet, but
yeah, no, there's a lot of story to it. It's getting real involved. I like it. I like the direction it's going.
Nice. Christina, first thoughts.
I love it. I watched both episodes 3 times now.
Nice. Okay. Griffin, your first thoughts.
The first episode was great. Definitely I'm completely forgetting everything that Disney has done.
That's a good idea.
I'm sticking with this. It's going Return of the Jedi, Mandalorian, and then Book of Boba Fett for me. And this, to me, it's just, this is and I mean, you could hear it from my dad as well, but literally it's everything I loved about Star Wars as a 5-year-old kid, just watching it. And the second episode, that's the best Star Wars I've seen since the season 2 Mandalorian finale.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute too.
Yeah.
Skeeter, your initial thoughts, bud.
This is our generation. This is bringing back us. The Boba Fett was our character, the way that we all wondered. They answered the question when Boba Fett came out in the Mando, like, wait, how did he get out of the Sarlacc? Like, what the heck? And they answered the question. So like I'm fully in. Like, I cannot wait for the next episode.
Well, let's hit that first, the escaping of the Sarlacc pit. I'm glad they answered the question and didn't just kind of leave it hanging there like, because it's movies. I wasn't it felt like it's a little too easy to escape. This is a legendary creature that will digest you over 10,000 years. And okay, you know what? I think I can grab the air out of another guy he's just swallowed and dig my way out. Yeah, I'm glad they answered it. I'm glad they gave us an answer, but it just seemed too easy. Anybody else feel that way?
Absolutely.
Will to live.
Will to live. We'll give it that.
Well, yeah, but absolutely. I mean, they did well with all of his scarring.
Yeah.
And I'll absolutely give them that. But we didn't even get to see quite how that happened. And I remember there's a moment after he crawls out of the sand and you can see his whole side of his body exposed. And I'm like, that would have been so trashed. I love the idea. And obviously when we saw him in Mando, we just assumed that obviously he escaped, but quite
Movie
how
magic,
and we feel like had there been smoke coming up out of the Sarlacc's mouth as he walks away, that would be pretty cool too. So
I mean, this is nitpicking at this point for me, honestly, because I don't care one way or the other, but it did seem a little too simple for me. Now, I want to say this, and I'm going to be on an island all by myself. This is if you put in Baby Yoda in this, no one would ever care to watch Mandalorian again. This is everything that Mandalorian wanted to be. And Mandalorian was great. I loved it. I was along for the ride. This is better. I think this is 2 steps above what they gave us on Mandalorian. I don't care about the Mandalorian in the Mandalorian. I care about all the rest of the story. It's all side quests. This, I care about the characters a lot more. And I think that's where my change is, where I think they've done a better job. What do you think about that, Tyler?
I don't agree.
Okay, why? No, I want.
No,
I think that's
No, I said earlier, you're probably going to be on an island. I don't know, but I love the Mandalorian. I do care about the Mandalorian, and what happened to him as a kid, as they showed us, and why is he such a staunch zealot for the old
Mhm.
ways, and you're gonna get me with that costume, that shiny, I can't get over that. I love it, but I do think there was a lot missing from it, story wise and in the writing, and I think Boba Fett's definitely gonna step up the game on that.
yeah.
Like I said, it's more involved. You're getting the flashbacks are great. I like them because
Yeah.
it's filling in a lot and it's telling a really cool story, and it's doing a lot for a lot of the old lore.
Yeah.
We just thought these were just savage sand people, and now we're getting to see that no, they're not. They're a
Yeah.
community of people just trying to survive, and they have ways about them. It's been awesome, and I'm gonna enjoy that a lot, but I don't think I could put it up above Mandalorian for me because I do buy into the Flash factor and some of that
That's
stuff.
cool.
So
Now, what another advantage I feel like this one has, and this is something you mentioned that you don't like, so maybe this is why, with the helmet thing. Now, Mandalorian
yeah,
really couldn't take off his helmet because that's part of the story. Because let's
right.
be honest, he doesn't portray the character as much as the Boba Fett actor plays the character, if that makes sense. He plays it a lot more
Mhm.
in the helmet. Now, because Boba Fett isn't a Mandalorian, that's why he takes the helmet off. And I think that if he left it on, that would be just, he's not working as a bounty hunter anymore. So why does he care about having to keep it on? He doesn't. And I like that they
Right.
did that and that's part of why I care about the character more. Now, I want to hear what's your thoughts on why you don't like that he has takes the helmet off there, Tyler. And then we'll get to everybody in a second. I'm sorry. This is
It's
just something
it's
we
really
talked.
it's really just as simple as the helmet's
The
cool.
aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, I do because it was that daunting bounty hunter character. It's like the man of mystery under there, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that about Mando. Actually, I was very disappointed, much
When they
like
took it off.
yeah, when he took it off, I was like,
I agree. I
it just
agree.
didn't do it for me. But it is what it is.
What about you, Griffin? What do you think about the helmet versus the non-helmet? Because I know that's an issue online. I didn't know it was until I was online. I'm like, cool.
I didn't know either. I mean, I love. I think. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, the Mandalorian's got 16 episodes under its belt, and
Yeah.
majority of it is amazing, story wise. But I feel like, I said this, like the helmet versus no helmet. I'll just get this out of the way. I think I think the actor, regardless, and the fact that it's so immersed in the world of Star Wars, it serves the story for me. So it doesn't matter if he has it on or if he doesn't. I mean, it's cool when he does. I'm glad that they served us like that, but they're telling us the story of why he doesn't have it on.
Yeah.
And there's more of a, like, I didn't like his black robes under his costume, but after last episode,
it made sense
I
after that.
love it now. And
I thought it was
I
cheeseball when I
won't
first
lie.
saw it. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck?
But yeah, I will. Yeah, I will leave it at that.
Okay, Skeeter, what about you? Where do you sit on
Okay,
it?
so one, Mandalorian, Mando is cloaked in lore. Like, he is a Mandalorian. Like,
Yeah.
he is he's fully from the Mandalorian. Yes, he was adopted, but he follows the requirements. He follows that particular, to where Boba Fett, he wasn't, right? Who was his dad? Where did he come from? You know, all of those things, following, you know, Jango Fett, what happened to him, how Boba Fett found him, what he became. Like, literally, we're in a place where you have somebody that's like a monk almost, that has to follow the ways of this particular religion, this particular sect, and not taking off his helmet is a thing, to a person that's not. You know, you have Boba Fett, who is not in that sect, who's not of that, coming from being a bounty hunter to now, like, I want people to see my face. I want people to know who I am. That's how I see it. I have no problem with it whatsoever. You know, I understand both sides of it, from the aspect of the Mandalorian to the aspect of who Boba Fett is.
I think it works for both characters personally. What about you, Christina?
So first of all, about the whole island thing, I'm ankle in right now in the water. So I do agree with you. It's only 2 episodes though.
Yeah.
So I am very cautiously
And
optimistic.
we have hit a wall before with certain move shows like Hawkeye.
I think that Tamara is such a strong actor that I love him with or without the helmet. I love that he wears the helmet when he deems it to be important. And then when he wants to show who he is, especially when he's like, I'm not a bounty hunter anymore. And he makes that very clear. So I feel like we're really seeing him begin to really come into and develop. And I'm really excited for where this is going.
Yeah.
And just to even see like where he refuses to be carried in, like that's so him.
That's
so
a man move right there.
Yeah.
And we're learning a lot more. I mean, we've had a lot of just kind of fan theories on who Boba Fett is for 30 years, 40 years, something like that. And now we're getting on at who he actually is supposed to be. And he fits. You know, he's not so far removed from what everybody wanted, but he's definitely not that character that we all thought he was either. And I'm okay with it. Now, I want to talk real quick about two different characters that I'm so excited to see more of, and I want to hear who you guys are excited to see more of, and that is the Wookiee and the Hutt twins. Oh, yes, I know Skeeter's head just exploded on that one. I think that they are going to be. I hope that the Hutt twins are huge in this show, and I hope they're in the background a lot, kind of like a Kingpin, because they are Star Wars version of Kingpin, and now there's 2 of them, and I'm like,
well, they are huge.
Yeah, they are. So I think I want to see those 2, and then this Wookiee, I want to learn more about. I know he has a whole backstory. That I don't never really gotten into, because I'm not an extended universe guy. I try to be, but I'm just not. There's a few series that I've loved, but I've never run into this Wookiee before. This guy seems about 10 times more interesting than Chewie at the moment. Don't know if he is or isn't. He's interesting as heck to me. So who are you looking forward to? Why? So on and so forth. Let's start with you this time, Christina.
Well, absolutely. I can never get enough of Fennec. Obviously she's going to carry this all the way through. Incredibly talented actress. And yes, the Wookiee, I want to know his name. I want to do deep dives. I want to figure out like who he is and why he appears to be such a bad mama jamma. So
yeah, you make the Hutt stand down. That's pretty bad. Griffin, what about you?
I think I think the when the Wookiee walked out, he said, I think he referred to him as your gladiator. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure, but he just walked out and he just looked mean. Like, I love how you could see his eyes and he was just like dogging him. And I'm excited to see where that goes. And I'm just happy that that Star Wars is, yes, like that's a Wookiee, and you're giving us a character that we obviously know, but they didn't run with that like all the way in the Mando. Like they're
Yeah.
bringing all these side characters and these aliens and things that we have not that we've seen in Star Wars in the background, and
There's
then they're creating
familiarity.
whole Star Wars story with them, and they're saving the main characters like for that they're not using them like the main species and stuff, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's great.
Yeah, I mean, like other examples of that, they have the Hammerhead guy,
Yeah.
who was tending bar. They had the other prisoner, and I'm actually drawing a blank on what species he is, but the other prisoner that was just, you were glad that when he died, you know what I'm talking about. You're muted there, Skeeter.
It was almost like a Greedo character.
Yeah, was it a Greedo? Yeah, and then you see the Gamorreans again and all that. It's like, yeah, that's a great point, Griffin. That they're giving you, it's a fleshed out universe now instead of just random character. You know, it's like there's definitely there's genetics involved in this, and I think it's interesting as long as we don't get the frog people back. Sorry, Tyler. What about you? What's your thoughts on all? What are you looking forward to, and who you liking?
You know, like Christina, I want more Finnick. I want to know more about her. I'd love to see the flashbacks on her.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Wookiee man, he's got a story to tell. There's some things there. There's a lot you could go into. Do I smell spinoff? Maybe. You never know. But
no.
I want to know about the Wookiees. I want to see baby Wookiees. You know, I want to. I'd love it.
Baby,
I would absolutely love that.
You want to see the Star Wars Babies episode with Baby Wookiee and
Hey,
Baby Yoda? Yeah.
But no, those two I would definitely want to see more of, and I'm looking forward to learning a little more about Finnick.
Nice.
And I feel like we're gonna get it, but I want to know the rest of the Tusken Warriors story.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into that in just a minute on that one. That's the next topic we're talking about. But Skeeter, let's hear about who you liking.
So obviously the Wookiee, like that blew my mind when this freaking
It's so
just
simple.
beast stepped around. I think that's the next big toy that will be hitting the market. Big, yeah. So but I don't know, I just think how literally, you know, and I'm just gonna say it, how Favreau and the writers are really paying attention to the lore of Star Wars, to historically the banthas, the you know,
The
everything,
Rancor,
the Rancor, you know, and how the fear. But I was sitting there, you know, when they dropped him into the Rancor, and I was like, wait, the Rancor's dead. And I was kind of hoping that door would open and there'd be like a baby one, you know, like a little, since we're talking about babies,
and it starts
anyways,
gnawing on his leg.
you know, he's like, but no,
like
like
a chihuahua.
I think that we're seeing, like, you know, like you said, the Hammerhead character, you know, the band in the bar,
yes,
you know, all of
elephant,
these things that are coming back to life for us is what is in part. But also the thing that really grabbed me was in the very first episode, how Mando came into town and he's the new boss. You know, he took Jabba's chair, but they made a big deal about him not having the pomp and circumstance and the drums and the lead into town, to where they made a huge deal when the twins came in with the drums and all. I loved it. It made perfect sense how this is all going to play out.
Well, and exactly who Boba Fett is.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved when you see the huts being carried, you can see that all the guys that are around it genuinely struggling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a nice touch, because yes, you would be. I mean, they've got to weigh like 2,000 pounds each.
Yeah.
You know. Now in the whole, and this is getting back to what we were talking about, in the Holy Trinity, we've always been told that the Tusken Raiders are evil and the Jawas are an inconvenience. I'm starting to see a big difference in that. The Tuskens, they're not good. They're not on the they don't have a moral compass per se that would benefit our society, quote unquote. But they're a lot more of a empathetic creature than the Jawas are. The Jawas are pretty heinous.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, you saw that a little bit in Mandalorian, but this one it's even more so. You know, that you knew that the Jawas were going to be just garbage. But now the Tuskens, I want to know what they look like under that. I want to see the donkey that they recorded to do their voice. Yeah, it's donkey or a mule. I don't know which one. But
Can
ahead.
I just say it? I totally forgot about these guys. What about the 3-piece patch motorcycle club?
Oh, gee. Yeah. Now, okay, from what I understand, and I never saw it, but there's a deleted scene in Star Wars where the 2 humans that were in there were friends of Luke's, and that he was all that was who he was going to go to the Tashi station with. So they kind of closed that whole. If you see, I never saw the deleted scene. I'm
So
bad Star Wars fan. Bad.
are we to think, given the old lore, Luke thought the Sand People killed his parents and everything? Are we being led to think that it was probably those guys or some?
No, that
variation?
was the stormtroopers,
That was
and they
Stormtroopers.
tried to make it look like somebody else to
okay.
hide their actions.
Now I could see them paying the 3-piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what their names are, is the 3-piece bikers. Yeah, I still want one to this day. But getting back to the Jawas for a second, what do you guys think about this switch from the bad guys to
The Jawas
a bad
or
sorry,
the
the
Tuskens.
Tuskens.
Okay.
From the bad guys to, misunderstood bad guys. How do you guys feel about that? Christina, go ahead. You got something.
First of all, I feel like we're seeing that they have this rich history. Like the section where they do the dance, and it's very, coordinated, and it's very like deep into their history. And then, I mean, who doesn't love Joanna Bennett and all of her talent as a stunt woman, stepping up and taking on those fight scenes and making them so incredibly real. And I fell in love with the journey that they sent him on. I mean, honestly, the lizard crawling up his nose was a little
That was a bit much.
That was overkill.
But when he makes his weapon, and oh my gosh, I just had chills up and down. And I've watched it, like I said, 3 times. And that section just gives me the chills, because it's like there is so much more to these people that we don't know. I would, venture to say it's very similar to like our understanding when we came here to the indigenous people. Like, I mean, that's a little bit of how it
was
feels.
definitely ham-fisted a little bit in there, but
yeah,
I get it. It wasn't too much.
No, it wasn't too much. I feel like it was just perfect.
But on the other hand, the Tuskens do bad things. So was the retribution overkill? Absolutely. But the Tuskens, you can't coexist too well with that either.
Well, and you have to wonder why. Like, that's kind of, I think, where it lays that foundation for us is,
their culture is different. They won't share with you.
Well, and was this their land that was taken from them? And so now they have no, understanding or desire to work alongside somebody else's culture.
Peter, what's your thoughts on this?
I really think that, they're an very, very misunderstood culture. When we first see them, we back in the very first in New Hope, what did we see? They were bad. They were, that's the idea that we were given.
Mm-hmm.
When Obi-Wan comes out and they all take off and run, and then, anytime we ever see them, they're bad, they're attacking somebody. So now we're seeing like, okay, they're not bad. They're just trying to protect what's theirs. You know, everybody constantly comes in and takes what's theirs. The train coming through and just blowing them up because why? They don't know. It's just this train coming through their space. You know, they kind of get the leftovers of everything. So I really feel like we're getting the opportunity to understand this culture of, you know, of indigenous people, you know, to this land that we never really got to understand or got to see. So now we're taking that opportunity. Boba Fett's actually really diving in and becoming one. The journey was phenomenal. You know, even Griff said when he comes out of the dream, you know, with that, when he breaks off that piece of that branch and he comes, you know, he's coming back through the desert with that branch. Griff's like, oh man, he's making his own thing. And I was like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then the robes and becoming one was just super cool.
Yeah, and well, and I'm glad they made him do that. And when he went to attack him in the first place, he was still using like the trainer weapon. I'm like, these guys got these great things, and he's got basically a stick, you know, but he didn't earn it yet. And I guess I thought that was fantastic how they did that. Griffin, what's your thoughts on the Tusken Raiders going from good or from bad to kind of good?
Well, you know, I think that there's a lot of gray just in. I like how it just represents the duality in. I'm gonna take it like a step further, but I think it serves the story more. I mean, you got to think about too. I was telling Dad, and I was like, wow, what a great way to like go. It was such a personal journey for Boba to to go on and to earn their respect. But if you see like in his reign and his taking over, he's what a people to get on your side on Tatooine.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna have anybody on your side, you have them, and not only have their allegiance, but their trust and their respect. He became one of them,
and they know how to survive.
And they accepted him into their culture, and to me that was huge. That was like
that was a wolf.
Yeah, it was so cool to me. But that, I just have to say that episode, that second episode, is the best Star Wars I've seen in a long time. It was so good. This the story and yeah, just him going through the dream and all that, and to break that, I was like, what is going on? I thought all that was a dream, and then like Dad said, when he was walking back with the stick, I was like, oh my god, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Tyler, what about you, bud?
No, I really enjoy it. You know, Tatooine, everybody seems to be painted in the past as, you know, some sort of low life or scumbag or something, aside from, you know, a few select characters. It's good to see that, you know, everybody's got some depth to them. They're not all just savages here and there and, you know, scavengers or what have you, you know, crime bosses. And, you know, these people got kids around. They're teaching them the ways to survive in the desert. Like, you know, Christina said, I'm wondering, you know, was that like a native species there that was all their land from thousands of years ago? It's all been encroached on. You know, I'd be bitter too. You know, but you know, when you got trains passing through and shooting at you, and they didn't provoke them. You know, they just, oh, we thought you were, you know, gonna keep us from doing what we want to do. And
well, but when they did explain it, they had gotten in their way before, and they're drug runners. They're running. That's not drugs. It's spice.
It's spice.
That was a little Dune for me, I will say.
Well, but that's from old school.
I know
they came out at the same time as writing wise.
But still, you know, they got in their way because, hey, listen, this is where we live. This is, you know, and y'all are just barreling through here with this illegal activity. You know, I'm sure they don't know it's, you know, illegal activity.
Did anybody else totally love how Boba brought in the actor brought in his culture,
Yeah,
like
that
that
dance that was
Maorian
definitely
haka. Yeah,
Mhm.
straight
Yep,
up.
I was getting that vibe.
yeah.
But it's
Thought that
good
was
to
great.
have, these characters like this fleshed out. I think it's
Mm.
important to who Boba is now. His character. It was important to show why he acts the way he does and thinks the way he thinks.
Yeah,
And when especially when he showed up with that weapon in Mando, it's like, okay, well, we need a backstory to this. So doing a really good job of fleshing all that out.
yeah.
But no, I like it. I really enjoy it.
Now, one thing that I want them to improve on, and then we're gonna do our grades, but this is the one thing that I want them to improve on. I feel like the music is just recycled Mandalorian music.
Yeah, they could do better there.
It's okay. It's which is based on the good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, that's do something different. Make this its own thing, because otherwise, it's just gonna be like the Mandalorian Boba Fett. Well, it's kind of the same thing. I really would like them something just a little bigger. I think maybe for this, maybe more of a drawback to the original Star Wars because he is an original Star Wars character. Mandalorian isn't. So I'd like to see them pull a little bit of that, but too late now. It's already done by this point. Okay, so let's give our grades. Let's start with Skeeter. What is your grade for the first 2 episodes of Boba Fett?
So the first 2 episodes, I'm B plus, just because I'm me with A's. I mean, you can't get any better. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go B plus. One of my biggest things that I'm trying to understand or trying to figure out, and I think Griffin and I were talking about this the other night, is this still on that Western theme, or now are we moving into more of a Godfather type of a
Yes.
gangster?
Both. Yeah.
Where did we move forward in time from Western to now we're into the mafia, the mob kind of a mentality? Like, so that's what's going to sway me and bring that grade up higher, because I'm, ask Courtney, I'm looking for a new gangster movie, like mafia, wise guys kind of a feel. So definitely a B, high B, B plus.
That's fair.
For the first 2.
Tyler, what's your grade for the first 2 episodes?
I'm gonna give it a solid B plus. Yeah, there's
Nice.
plenty of room to improve, I think, but no, it's very enjoyable, and obviously Favreau's in charge, so we're gonna get some great writing, and it's gonna be done real well. There was no doubt that I would like it. I mean, come on now, it's
Yeah.
it's Boba Fett, but yeah, I think they got a little bit of room to improve. I'm curious where they're gonna go with the huts and everything, but I think the way they're gonna navigate it's gonna be real smart. So we'll see.
Griffin?
I'm gonna break both the episodes into 2 instead of
Okay.
grading them together, because I feel like I have to. But the first one, definitely agree, like a B plus. It was a solid start, but it definitely felt adjusting to the different tone, which is always okay. I don't want to watch Mandalorian season 3. You know what I mean? I don't want to watch that with this. I want to watch whatever the show is.
Mhm.
But I would have to say that, like I said, the chapter 2, the second episode, is some of the best. I really feel it's some of the best Star Wars I've seen in a while. And it just the storytelling, and I feel like they didn't rip anything off. It was just like it kept me in the seat the whole time. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. And typically you could put things together and it's just, okay, they're gonna do this, they're gonna go here, and it was like, no, okay. And I like, my mom was watching it with us and she goes, man, this is a really long episode. She's like, and we were all thinking it was going to cut off at a certain point, and then they would just continue it, but they didn't. They let the story breathe and they just focused more on it. And I really like the duality. A lot of people who think it's boring or anything, I love. I thought the whole Back to Tank was just going to be the first episode and that was just going to recap everything. But then when they did it in the second one, I was like, oh yes, okay, that's a great story device. I was not expecting that at all. So I think it's unique, but I have to give the second episode, like, I gotta give it an A+. Because
Wow.
for it,
High
it just
praise.
feels like the original trilogy. It just feels like Star Wars to me. It
Yeah.
didn't feel like it's trying to grab from something or try to be like, oh, it's gonna be this movie with Star Wars in it. We're just gonna put Star Wars over it.
There's no
overlay this
Revenge of the
movie.
Sith in it.
Yeah, it's just
God.
Star Wars. It's just its own thing. It's its own story, and I really appreciate that.
Christina?
I am going to sit pretty at a B. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to know more about why he makes the choices he makes. And I feel like they're going to dig into that. And I like that we're not just getting after the Sarlacc, we're actually getting like when he was a kid, because he made a very conscious choice when he killed that 4-armed sand behemoth, whatever the heck that was. He could have escaped that. He made a conscious choice to return with that child, which I really feel like was this 180 and really began to set who he is that we know today.
Oh, that's good, actually. Now I'm going to give it a B+ with a caveat. If these stay as good as they are, I will go back and revisit and call this an A. I'm a little worried that they're setting my expectations too high, like they sometimes do. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But these are just enjoyable, and I hope everyone's along for the ride. Don't watch this like you're watching The Mandalorian. It's its own show. And in my opinion, I think it's better. Because, I mean, if you take Baby Yoda out, the story is just edge of your seat, and you're there. You're not on a side quest, you're on the main quest. And that's something I said a lot with The Mandalorian. It's like, well, you know, you're playing the game, but you do a lot of side quests. This, I feel like you're on the main quest. You're in the main part of the game the whole time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so far, I agree.
Yeah, so far. Like, hope it stays there.
And I wanted to say that I think it's really, really cool that they're bringing his age into this.
Yeah, he's not as fast.
Yeah, he needs a healing chamber.
Yeah.
You know, I was taken back a little bit when they got ambushed in the street, and like immediately, you know, he's brought down to his knees and this. Now I'm like, whoa, this is Boba Fett. Come on. But he doesn't need to be the Boba Fett we saw originally back when, where it's just like he's badass because he's got all these skills and cool tools. Now, you know, they did that with Mando, you know, and they keep doing that with Mando. That's fine. Now this Boba Fett is badass because he's got that Rocky aspect. Dude does not back down. You can knock him down. You can knock him down. You can beat him down. He's gonna keep getting back up, and that's what makes him even more dangerous. You know, he's just not got. He's got no quit in him.
Clint
So I
Eastwood
thought that
could
was
have played
really
this character.
inside.
Honestly.
Yeah. I felt that just made him, you know, even more badass. That they brought his age into the story, and you know, really showed that this is why Boba Fett's badass.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Now, I don't know if we're going to do these every week or every other week. We'll see. But with how good these shows are, I kind of want to do these every week because these are just really good. Yeah. Okay. So until next time, I'm Dub. I'm here with Skeeter. I'm here with Christina. I'm here with Tyler. I'm here with Griffin. Keep on geeking on, guys. Check out all our stuff. You know what to do.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.